Hello, everybody, Darcy Marler here. In this week's video, we're going to contrast the BRRRR strategy, so basically fixing up an old property and keeping that as a rental versus knocking that old building down and building a brand new rental to add to your portfolio. We're going to compare the pros and cons of that in this week's video, so stay tuned for this. So I've created this really great online course that'll teach you all about real estate development, creating your own rental portfolio, new construction, these kind of things. So in order to introduce that, I've created a 20-minute informational session, a video session that the QR code to access that is on the screen. So watch this week's short video that we're going to do right now. And then when that's done, go click on the QR code and go watch that informational session just to see if new construction, creating your own rental properties is going to be right for you. So yes, what's the difference between taking an older building, fixing it up versus building new? So what are the benefits of building new construction rental properties? So one thing I've learned in 23 years is no strategy works all the time, everywhere, in every economy. So there are problems with the BRRRR strategy. What could some of these be? Well, so BRRRR again stands for buy, renovate, re-rent, refinance, and repeat. So basically, let's take a look at those. So the buy part, well, they're getting hard to find. Massive competition. Anybody who ever watched a real estate video or took a course or watched the podcast, we're all going after the same products. So really hard to find. Getting more and more expensive to buy, more and more expensive to reno. And at the end of the day, you're still left with old, right? Like it's still dated, even though you've put the latest cabinets and whatever. It's still like, you're only going to make that building look so good, right? Everybody wants new, the young kids, everybody wants new. They're getting harder to refinance. Banks just aren't automatically sitting there saying, yeah, if we renovate that place, we put a new renter in, we tell the bank, this is what we think the costs are going to be. And they go, okay, no, they're kind of sitting there, well, time out. How about we wait a year and make sure those are the costs before we refinance this thing? Harder to insure because we got an old building. We got asbestos in there somewhere. We got aluminum wiring in there somewhere. Increased government intervention, increased taxes potentially. If you're flipping that, we've got flipping taxes, rent controls on older buildings. Harder to manage these older buildings too. Even when you get them fixed up, you still got a C-class building with a C-class tenant. A lot of management time in there. Harder to scale. Yeah, you're not really working towards your goal the way you thought you were. Yeah, Doris, this isn't really what I signed up for. So in short, you're frustrated and feeling stuck that the traditional rental strategies may be not working for you. So can we do something else? So I've tried nasty and I've tried new, and I can tell you new is a lot better. I think it is the best investment out there. So again, we're going to eliminate competition because we're starting with a vacant lot or an inner city property that is an old teardown, like a 1910 piece of crap. Let's tear that down and don't fix it up. By doing that, almost all of your fellow real estate investors, they don't know what to do with raw land. We're taught to add value to a building. Well, we need a building. So they don't know what to do with raw land. And if the building's just really, really disgusting, they don't know what to do with that either. So learn how to work with that. Again, we knock it down, build something new. We're going to have a better end product for both the renter and you as the investor. Lots of government incentives out there to build because of this housing crisis. You can actually reduce your construction costs by getting some government rebates or grants. Greater return on time. We're going to spend our time being investors, finding the properties, finding the deals, putting the deal together. But then our team's going to take over from there, and they're going to do the back and forth with the city and all that. So really great return on time. Easier to budget and easier to stick to your costs. Again, I did a lot of flips, a lot of BRRRRs. You're always scared to go into the wall of those old buildings, right? What kind of nasty aluminum, like I said, or old wiring. Once it's exposed, you got to fix it, right? So brand new, here's the budget, knock down the old house and then fix it. A lot easier to stick to your budget. But in general, get unstuck. We're talking about being frustrated. Being able to eliminate a lot of the competition will get you going again. So yeah, this is a lot more like it. So that's what's good about construction in general. Now, what's good about having rentals that are new? Well, you get a better class of tenant, probably professional single or professional couple. They're willing to pay more. They qualify easier. Brand new building, so your repair and maintenance costs are going to be really, really low. All of that put together means your management fees are going to be much less. It can be a lot less time to manage these people. And that building, don't have to deal with nasty. Again, we're just going to knock down that old building down. In a lot of places, new builds don't qualify for rent controls. So the rent controls don't apply. How awesome would that be? Easier to finance, easier to insure, again, because everything's new. And now we've got an 80 or a 90-year lifespan that we can deal with instead of an old building that maybe got 15 years of life left. We get to leave a legacy of new, both for the community and for our kids, and we get to leave the competition behind. But really, in short, it's just a lot more fun. So perfect. We built this thing. Now what can we do with it? The multiple exit strategy. So yeah, we can build it, refinance it, keep it in our rental portfolio. That's actually one of mine, by the way. I built that. That's a 5-plex. And it was built as condominium. So that's the next one. Sell each unit as condominiums. You can sell the entire building as one to another investor. We started off this by talking about all the competition. So yeah, there's people out there definitely looking for stuff. You can turn it into an Airbnb or rent to own. Maybe build one and keep it, build a second one and sell it. Keep one, sell one, keep one, sell one. That way you get the best of both worlds. You get long-term retirement income with short-term cash. And again, various other exit points if things change. So kind of bailout strategies as well. I honestly think real estate development is going to be the next big thing in real estate investing over the next 5 to 10 years. Has to. It's already begun. We got this massive housing crisis all over North America on both sides of the border. Massive immigration still coming. We've got unprecedented levels of people moving around the country. So domestic immigration, that's resulting in a huge spread between supply and demand in certain areas. All three levels of government are trying to be proactive, trying to increase density, trying to increase inventory. They're coming out with tax rebates, grants, incentives, these kind of things. We talked about younger demographics and retirees. Everybody wants new. Nobody really wants that 1950s burr. And a lot of these older homes are not giving us a choice anymore. They're nearing the end of useful life. They've got no choice really now but to tear them down. So for all these reasons, I think we're going to see more and more of these older houses torn down and replaced with higher density. This is going to be a really big deal going forward. There's a massive demand, profit from helping to create that supply. So rather than continuing to deal with stuff like this, these old burrs, let's start knocking down the old buildings instead of fixing them up. Let's start redeveloping existing properties into something fun and new. Let's start greatly increasing density and inventory. If you can't find multifamily to buy, start building your own. So if you'd like some more information, contact me. There's some information. I've created a 20-minute informational video on development, what it is, how to profit from it, what are some of the fears, how to get over that. A little bit at the end, we talk about this online course that I have that'll teach you how to do all this stuff. So I urge you to get out the QR code reader and watch that video. So thank you for your time.